Imagine a fighter who redefined boxing with his unorthodox style, dazzling the world with his speed and swagger, only to face a dramatic downfall that left both fans and critics in disbelief. This is the story of Prince Nasim Hamemed, a man who was once the heartbeat of the featherweight division and later became an enigma wrapped in controversy, regret, and silent struggle. Born in Sheffield to immigrant parents, Naseem was a wiry kid with dreams too big for the streets. His early training in the famous Winkco Bank Gym under Brendan Engel laid the foundation for his signature style, an instinctive, acrobatic blend of low hands, dancing footwork, and cheeky taunts that made every fight a performance. In every bout, he was not only a boxer, but also a showman, captivating an audience that quickly embraced his distinctive flair. By the age of 18, Naseem exploded onto the professional scene. With breathtaking knockouts, flamboyant entrances, once riding in on a flying carpet, and a string of technical victories, he became the featherweight champion. Every fight was a spectacle. Every round brimmed with audacity and raw energy. Whether loved or hated, his magnetism ensured that no one could look away from the spectacle he created in the ring. The early spark, an unconventional rise. Born in Sheffield, England, to Yemeni immigrant parents, Naseem Hamemed was not always the flamboyant fighter the world would come to know. From a young age, he displayed a fierce determination and a desire to rise above his circumstances. His journey began in the bustling streets of Sheffield, where dreams were as crucial as the struggles he faced. Enrolling in the renowned Winkco Bank Gym, he was guided by legendary trainer Brendan Engel, who recognized his unique talent. Unlike conventional boxers, Naseem developed an unorthodox fighting style characterized by low hands and agile footwork, which would become his trademark. His ability to dance between punches and his penchant for taunting opponents added a theatrical flair to his matches. With every fight, he didn't just aim to win. He aimed to entertain, turning the ring into his stage. By the age of 18, he turned professional, quickly drawing attention with his explosive knockouts that left audiences spellbound. Each victory was accompanied by his signature swagger and charisma, captivating both fans and critics alike. From elaborate entrances, like riding in on a flying carpet, to unpredictable flips, Naseem transformed boxing into an art form. As he racked up win after win, and his confidence soared, he reshaped the perception of what a featherweight could achieve. The spotlight that followed him was not mere chance. It was the result of relentless hard work and a passion that knew no bounds. As he continued to rise, the young prince began to realize the power he wielded not only in the ring, but also in the hearts of those who watched him fight. Assuming the throne, stardom, and dominance. By the age of 18, Naseem exploded onto the professional boxing scene, capturing the imagination of fans and critics alike. With breathtaking knockouts, flamboyant entrances, and an electric charisma, Naseem became a household name in the world of boxing. He commanded the ring like few before him, combining the art of fighting with the flair of performance. In every bout, he did not just strive to win. He sought to entertain, to craft a spectacle that left audiences in awe. His bouts were marked by jaw-dropping speed, dexterous footwork, and showmanship that often rivaled the very best entertainers. Each fight, he approached as if it were a grand act, showcasing not only his fists but also his personality, often taunting his opponents and playing to the crowd with a smile that could light up a room. This combination of skill and showmanship turned Naseem into not just a boxer, but a phenomenon, and with every successful title defense, he highlighted a unique ability to engage viewers. As his fame soared, he became synonymous with the featherweight division, turning it into a bustling stage for aspiring fighters. Coining the phrase, "The Prince has arrived," he signaled the start of an era that would forever change how fans viewed smaller fighters, showing that power could come in many forms. Naseem redefined what it meant to be a champion, not just through his victories on the scorecards, but through his indelible mark on the sport. transforming the landscape of boxing forever, leaving fans eager for what was to come next. The turning point, a crack in the crown. At the pinnacle of his career, the young champion Naseem Hamemed faced the one opponent no fighter truly prepares for: self-doubt. When he stepped into the ring against Marco Antonio Barrera, excitement filled the air. Fans were expecting the charismatic showman to dazzle again. But something was different this time. The fluidity, the audacity that once defined his fights seemed absent. From the opening bell, Barrera imposed his will, outboxing Naseem, pushing him into unfamiliar territory. As each round passed, the crowd watched, stunned, as their prince wavered. No flashy moves or cheeky taunts could mask the hesitation in his stance. This wasn't the same fighter who had dominated the featherweight division. This was a man grappling with fear and uncertainty. By the end of the 12 rounds, the verdict was clear. The youthful, once impulsive prince had lost decisively, and with that loss, cracks began to form in the crown that he wore so proudly. Critics questioned if his flashy style had finally met its match, while fans lamented the vulnerable prince who had hidden his struggles behind a magnetic persona. The loss carried a weight far beyond the scorecards. It was the start of a psychological unraveling. Naseem found himself doubting his abilities, and the vibrant energy that once burst from him started to fade. As he left the ring, silence enveloped him. The roar of cheers had been replaced by a haunting stillness, a prelude to the internal battles that awaited him. That day, a turning point was etched in boxing history, marking the beginning of a tumultuous journey through doubt, reflection, and eventual withdrawal from the spotlight. Dissent and the haunting silence. Following that fateful fight, Naseem's performances grew lackluster, and whispers of his absence began to echo through the boxing world. The once charismatic showman vanished from the limelight, leaving fans and critics alike bewildered. There was no farewell tour, no retirement press conference, just an eerie silence that hung in the air. A series of personal controversies, including a horrifying car accident, further complicated his story. Rumors circulated about his declining health as chronic issues and psychological struggles began to surface. Friends and former rivals expressed concern, but attempts to reach out often went unanswered. The vibrant echo of laughter and bravado faded, replaced by an unsettling stillness. The man who once danced into the ring with electric confidence became a shadow of his former self. Speculation intensified regarding his physical and emotional state. Was he battling demons no one could see? Did the pressure of a perfect record weigh too heavily? As his health declined, public appearances dwindled, and fans could only reminisce about the glory days, while the haunting silence enveloped him like a shroud. With each passing day, the absence of his once vibrant spirit became palpable. Those who knew him were left grappling with a sense of loss, mourning not just the man, but the laughter, the excitement, and the thrill he once brought to the sport. Whispers of what happened to Naseem resonated in circles as the boxing community awaited a flicker of light in the darkness that had enveloped the prince. Life beyond the ring, opulence, isolation, and uncertain health. In his post-boxing years, Prince Nasim Hamemed found himself living a life filled with luxury, opulence, and extravagance. But beneath the glitz, a deeper, unsettling truth emerged. He had exchanged a roaring crowd for the quiet confines of mansions filled with expensive cars, high-end watches, and private jets. While his lifestyle might have seemed enviable to many, it was overshadowed by an increasing sense of isolation, a reality exacerbated by his decision to retreat from the very world that once adored him. Reports began to circulate about his declining health, with whispers surrounding chronic conditions, possible heart issues, and the impact of years of high-stakes competition on his body. As he distanced himself from friends, family, and fans, the vibrant personality that had once captivated audiences seemed to fade into obscurity. Those closest to him echoed sentiments of concern, noting that he rarely left his home, stopping appearances at fights and social events that had previously defined his life. Instead of reveling in the spotlight, he chose silence, casting a shadow on his legacy as a showman. This withdrawal led many to speculate whether he was battling the demons of regret, possibly mourning the legacy that could have been crafted if he had embraced his role in boxing post-retirement. As unconfirmed reports trickled in, amid escalating worry from the community, it was clear that life beyond the ring was no longer the thrill-filled chapter many had hoped for. Instead, it became a quiet existence marked by fragility, raising the profound question, what happens to a star when the lights dim and the arena empties out? The final round, critical condition and lingering legacy. In a shocking turn of events, the boxing world was hit with the news that Prince Nasim Hamemed, at just 51 years old, had been hospitalized in London and was in critical condition. There were no celebratory farewells, no grand press releases, just a silent plea from his family for privacy. As whispers of his impending struggle spread, the echoes of Nasim's storied career filled social media feeds. Fans reflected on glorious knockouts, unforgettable entrances, and the remarkable showmanship that once made him a superstar. The silence about his health spoke volumes, as friends and former rivals expressed their concerns over an iconic figure who seemed to have vanished into obscurity. Many initiated conversations about his journey, examining how the bright flame of talent had dimmed in a heartbreaking decline. The vibrant personality who once commanded boxing rings and captured the hearts of fans now faced the ultimate battle, not against an opponent in a ring, but against an unseen condition, the one that had taken more than just his physical abilities. In the depths of this struggle, Hamed's story evolved from one of exuberant triumph to one tinged with sadness and reflection. With every passing day, as updates remained scarce and concern grew, the legacy he built began to take shape anew. No longer just defined by his dazzling performances, the narrative now encompassed the anguished silence of a fallen prince, engaging fans in a poignant reminder of the costs associated with greatness. Nasim's story, woven with dramatic highs and melancholic lows, continues to resonate, reminding us all that even the mightiest can face vulnerabilities far beyond their control. The legacy of Prince Nasim Hamemed is a reflection of the complexities of fame and the human spirit, balancing brilliance with vulnerability and glory with silence. His story is not merely about victories inside the ring, but rather the profound impact he had on the sport of boxing, the lives he inspired, and the emotions he invoked, both in those who adored him and those who critiqued him. As one of boxing's most electrifying figures, Nasim transformed the featherweight division into a canvas for his art, captivating audiences with every dazzling entrance and stunning knockout. However, this vibrant persona, shaped by triumph and high energy, met a sobering reality as he descended from the apex of his career, struggling with personal battles that remained hidden from the public eye. The silence surrounding his later years created a void, leaving fans to grapple with questions about his well-being and future. As news of his current critical condition circulates, it awakens a collective sense of nostalgia and sorrow. People are reminded of the brilliance he once embodied, the magic he brought to the ring, and the legacy that now rests in uncertainty. This journey of a man who once stood at the pinnacle is a poignant reminder of life's volatility and the importance of connection, legacy, and the impact of silence. Throughout it all, the question lingers: how do we remember a fighter who danced through the lights, yet now faces the shadows with profound grace? If this truly is the final round for Nasim Hamemed, his story will resonate beyond the statistics, echoing the relentless pursuit of peace, identity, and closure, becoming a part of boxing's rich tapestry and a reminder that even legends are human.